For millions of workers, the American dream hasn't disappeared, it's been priced out of reach. You work. You get paid. And within hours, the money is gone. Rent. Gas. Food. Debt. The paycheck arrives already spoken for. This isn't laziness. It isn't failure. It's a system where surviving costs almost everything you earn. So how do you escape when breaking even already feels impossible? Welcome back to FrameFlow. Today, we're investigating the minimum wage trap, not simply low pay, but the invisible mechanics that keep people financially stuck. Because this isn't just about income. It's about friction. Small costs. Constant pressure. And a system where one unexpected expense can erase weeks of progress. By the end of this video, you'll understand why escaping poverty is harder than most people realize, and what actually works when traditional advice fails. The cycle begins with a widening gap between income and survival. Over the last 40 years, productivity has climbed. Workers produce more than ever. But wages, especially at the bottom, have barely kept pace with inflation. The result? Living costs rise faster than opportunity. Rent increases. Food prices shift upward. Utilities become unpredictable. And for minimum wage earners, every month becomes a race against math. Here's one of the cruelest realities of poverty: being broke is expensive. Financial stability gives you options. Poverty removes them. When money is tight, you buy what you can afford today, not what saves money tomorrow. Cheap shoes wear out faster. Overdraft fees multiply. Late charges stack up. These aren't bad decisions. They're survival decisions. And over time, these small penalties quietly drain thousands from people who can least afford to lose it. When you are in the trap, you are forced to make expensive, short-term decisions because you lack the cheap, long-term capital. Our investigation shows that the average low-income worker loses up to 10% of their annual income simply to these friction costs. Breaking the trap requires a radical refusal to pay this tax whenever possible. Poverty doesn't only affect your wallet. It changes how your brain works. Behavioral economists call this scarcity tunneling. When every dollar matters, your attention narrows. You focus on immediate threats: rent, food, overdue bills. Long-term planning becomes difficult, not because people don't care, but because survival consumes mental bandwidth. The system benefits from exhaustion. Because when you're mentally overloaded, escaping becomes harder than enduring. If you are too drained to search for a better job, learn a new skill, or plan beyond next week, the cycle stays intact. This is why FrameFlow emphasizes the idea of the microbuffer. Even a small emergency fund, just $50, can create something powerful: breathing room. Not financial freedom yet, but psychological distance from constant crisis. Because when your brain isn't trapped in survival mode, it can finally start building an exit plan. Escaping the cycle starts with visibility. You cannot change what you cannot measure. That means tracking every dollar, not obsessively, but strategically. On a tight budget, small leaks become major damage. The goal isn't restriction. The goal is awareness. Next comes leverage. Increasing income, even slightly, creates breathing room faster than extreme budgeting ever could. The next step is low-cost upskilling. Escaping the minimum wage cycle isn't only about earning more, it's about increasing your value in the marketplace. Today, some of the world's best education is free. Library resources, online certifications, and skill-based learning platforms have lowered the barrier to entry like never before. A single new skill can shift your trajectory, from an $11 an hour job to one that pays $16 or more. That difference may seem small on paper, but in reality, it creates something critical: margin. And margin is where financial stability begins. The final step is building what we call the exit fund. Not savings for luxury. Savings for freedom. This is the money that gives you options. The ability to leave a toxic workplace. To survive an emergency. To say no without fear. Even small amounts matter. $2 a day may feel insignificant. But momentum changes identity. Because the moment you stop living paycheck to paycheck, even slightly, you stop belonging entirely to the system. The trap is strong, but it is not unbreakable. It survives on your silence and your surrender. By documenting your struggle and planning your move, you are already halfway out. What's the biggest hidden cost hitting your budget right now? Late fees? Transportation? Food prices? Drop it in the comments. The more we expose these hidden pressures, the clearer the system becomes. If this investigation helped you understand the cycle, like, subscribe, and follow FrameFlow as we document the journey from surviving to stability. You are not weak for struggling inside a system designed to stretch people thin. The fact that you're still moving forward means you're already resisting it. We'll see you in our next video.